Good evening and welcome to Hungary Report, starting off public media and one's foreign language news hour. I'm Csenga Gabriela Iborya with today's news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Let's begin. Visegrad countries are seeking cooperation with other European countries. This is what the Prime Minister said in Prague, where the four countries' heads of state met with the Austrian Chancellor. VIKTOR ORBÁN said that they will be able to work with Austria on migration, border protection, climate change and EU enlargement.
The Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš welcomed his guests one by one in the freshly renovated Czech National Museum. After Mateusz Morawiecki, the Polish, Viktor Orbán, the Hungarian, and Peter Pellegrini, the Slovakian, heads of governments had arrived, a plenary session was held. First only with the prime ministers of the Visegrad countries, and later the Australian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz joined in as well. Migration formed a pivotal point on the agenda. Andrej Babiš said the question of the mandatory quota system is one of the past. By now it has become clear that this is not a viable path. The reform on how to handle migration has to be based on the cooperation of all member states. The Austrian Chancellor pointed out that everything has to be done to have a united Europe. For us Austrians, the cooperation between Western and Eastern Europe is very important. We would like to live in a Europe which is characterized by diversity, but where we can find common ground, Sebastian Kurz said. Austria is a natural partner of Hungary and the Visegrad countries, and there are many areas for cooperation, the Hungarian Prime Minister said. Austria will be an important security partner in the future, as I believe we're in the same shoes when it comes to migration. If migrants break into Hungary, they will sooner or later end up in Austria, where they'll either stay or go further to Germany. So my conviction is that it remains in the interest of Austria that Hungary successfully protects its southern borders, Viktor Orbán explained. According to the Prime Minister, identifying the areas of cooperation is the biggest achievement of the Prague meeting. These include the following: migration, security, border control, competitiveness, climate protection, and the further enlargement of the Union.
The European Parliament voted in favour of the motion for resolution on the rule of law against Hungary and Poland. It warns that EU negotiations with the two countries have not yet resulted in respect for EU core values. They also asked the European Council to make concrete recommendations, including deadlines to the countries concerned. The motion is not binding. Migrational pressure on the southern border is the worst it's been in years, with more than 120 immigrants arrested in a single day. In addition, the police now have increasingly difficult tasks as migrants have changed tactics. Now, just small groups of people are trying to cross the border at several places at once, meaning bigger strains on manpower for the authorities.
Soldiers walk out these migrants from the forest. This group of 8 men was caught during the night near Hercegszánto in the flood basin of the Danube. They tried to flee in the night fog, but they couldn't manage. And this is another case also near Hercegszánto. This is where most people are trying to enter. Whereas in the past there were groups of 20-30 people, now they have a different tactics. They sometimes come in groups of 8 or 10, but mainly in groups of 3 or 4, and try to cross the border at different points but at the same time. This way they're making the job of police and soldiers more difficult. Thermal cameras are continuously overlooking the area, helping the job of the patrollers. Men aged between 18 and 35 are the ones mainly trying to illegally cross the border, but it is not rare either that children try to cross without adult supervision, just like these 3 boys. According to police data, on Wednesday only, authorities had to deal with altogether 123 illegal migrants. The pressure of migration has been increasing since the end of October last year. In the first 2 weeks of the year, migrants were caught on 1,400 occasions, and illegal border crossings had to be stopped 440 additional times. It was 2017 that so many migrants tried to enter the country illegally. Because of this, the number of soldiers serving at the border was doubled in the beginning of January. We have to expect increased migrational pressure in 2020. This is what the 21st Century Research Institute wrote. Among others, they highlight that even though 5 years have passed since the outbreak of the migration crisis, the European Union has still no unified standpoint regarding the issue.
The importance of volunteering was highlighted by the Hungarian Red Cross. The organization employs a large number of its own staff as volunteers, whose work and other public benefit organizations is in dire need.
They welcome the needy with food along with clothing, shoes and furniture at the Zalaegerszeg Donation Center. The donations are sorted and handed out by volunteers involved.
Adni jó.
Giving is good. Giving is the best. It's good to get, but giving is better. And that joy when someone is able to give, and that they are thankful and grateful and they come happily because we welcome them warmly with great love, Piroska Kazinti said. There is more and more need for the establishment and for the help of volunteers.
Azért fontos nekünk.
Volunteers are important to us because without them we could not do this enormous amount of work and move the large quantity of donations. The organization doesn't have enough resources to have paid employees, Gyula Dudás explained. The Budapest director of the organization at the Hungarian Red Cross's 11th district branch said that the Hungarian Red Cross has thousands of volunteers in Budapest, and this number highly rises in some actions such as the Santa Claus factory.
Az önkéntesség egyébként
Volunteer work can be done in many ways, from blood donation to everyday first aid, helping neighbors in need, and taking part in disaster management. Our task is to present opportunities for volunteering, to welcome and help the work of volunteers, Ildikó Boncsik said. The governmental commissioner responsible for patriotic and national defense education also raised awareness on the importance of volunteering.
Nagyon fontos, hogy a terepen ott legyünk.
It's very important to be out there, to be with the people and feel their problems and troubles, and strive to help on the ones in need. The Hungarian Red Cross has the same mission, to strengthen human compassion and taking care of each other, István Simicskó said. As the elected MP of Újbuda, the governmental commissioner supported the organization's work by donating cleaning and sanitary products to the Hungarian Red Cross.
The ice of lakes and backwaters in the country is still life-threatening, with ice thickness below 8 to 10 centimeters, which is the thickness considered safe. Among our largest lakes, Lake Balaton is still not frozen, while the ice of Lake Tisza may grow stronger by the end of the week.
Member of the Lake Velence Coast Guard staff going into duty is showing the rescue equipment in the Agard Harbor. Members of the Gárdony police, who are trained in water rescue and professional CPR, continuously monitor the thickness and state of the ice. There are many warning signs at Lake Velence showing it's not allowed to step on the ice. My colleagues are prepared for the proper execution of duties appropriate for extreme weather based on previous ice rescues. They are equipped with special tools and also warn the visitors that the ice on the lake is not yet suitable for doing sport activity on, Zoltán Szabó explained. The safe ice thickness of Lake Velence starts from 10 centimeters. Currently, the ice of lakes and backwaters in Hungary are not safe, although the ice on Lake Tisza could soon reach an eligible thickness. The ice is about 6 to 8 centimeters thick, but if the cold stays, it will reach the thickness that's safe to go on, Imre Ujvári said. Lake Balaton has just frozen in smaller areas, mostly in the guarded bays. Even though the damp cold air is stuck near the surface and the temperature is close to freezing point during daytime too, at night near Lake Balaton it cooled off to just -2, -3 Celsius, and this does not create the necessary conditions for an ice blanket to form, Eszter Szilágyi explained. There won't be any significant change in the weather in the upcoming days, so if someone wants to ice skate, they will have to go and visit the City Park ice rink.
In the stone vault of the Fabricius house in Sopron, there are stone monuments from the Roman times of the city and its surroundings. Some of the inscriptions are tombstones, a significant part of the altar stones which once stood in shrines dedicated to the various gods of the Roman Empire. The exhibition is open every day except for Mondays. And Lillafüred offers a unique experience for tourists throughout the year. In the beautiful natural surroundings near the Palottaszálló, we can find the highest waterfall of Hungary, which is 20 meters high. The waterfall is almost completely frozen during cold weather, providing spectacular views. The location is easily accessible by car or on foot. And that's all for now, but don't forget you can catch Hungary Reports every night after 11 o'clock news and online as always. Do stick around and watch our German, Russian, Chinese language news. Thank you for watching and have a lovely evening.